And we're live. I love saying that. Welcome to ComicCast, issue number 139, brought to you by Dwayne's World Comics and Games, 457 East Sullivan Street in Kingsport, Tennessee. They carry one of the largest selections of new comics and graphic novels in the Tri-Cities area, as well as a huge variety of gaming merchandise, including miniature games, board games, and RPGs. Check them out, Dwayne's World Comics and Games, Kingsport, Tennessee. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Adam Wade Adams.
Oh, wow.
I'm AKA David.
And this is Gaumer.
We are at ComicCast Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, wherever you get social with your media. Also, if you are joining us in the live chat here on YouTube, do us a favor right now, right at the start of the video, jump over, hit that like button. You can come back later and leave us a comment. Also, be sure to subscribe. If you want to hear the exciting pre-show, where Gaumer tells a story about his grandpa, David continues to interrupt the pre-show. You can catch that Patreon.
I did it one time.
Just like you're interrupting my plug now, man. And Gomer's got his hanky out like he's an old man.
Allergy season, man. I'm sorry.
Patreon.com
Out of my sleeve.
/ComicCastPod.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello, everybody.
Man, so what's up? Well, first and foremost, congrats to Adam Wade Adams for becoming the viral pro wrestling tag team champions.
No,
Yay!
no.
One half, right?
Yeah, I don't even.
I'm
I'm
not.
not.
A round of applause.
I'm not claiming it. I'm not claiming it at all.
I love that. I love that aspect of the whole thing.
I don't really like it. I think
I didn't want to be the tag team champion.
No, I'm the most
team.
unappreciative person ever.
Why? Why are you so upset, man?
Because some people think I have anger issues, but I don't know.
Is that why your team's called Anger Management?
I didn't come up with that.
It sounds okay.
You sound like you're bitter at the promoter, man.
Yeah.
I'm work through this.
I hope he doesn't listen.
No, I told some I told someone I had to. They made me go out and talk to fans, and I was like, look. My favorite, my favorite person in the world is myself, and I don't even like myself. So
we know that we podcast with you every week.
Yeah,
right.
You poor thing.
Let's talk about some Star Wars news. Gomer will talk about news. I'll talk about the trailer when David's done. Before we get into the trailer, did you guys, I'm sure you didn't see the tweet I put out. Somebody dubbed over Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin on the trailer. It's 1,000 times better.
That's like the new thing to do, man.
So great. It fits perfect, man. But in all reality, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. What's that mean? Is Rey a Skywalker?
Or are we going to? I don't know. They've been misleading us this whole time. If that's the case.
I don't think it's a matter that they've been misleading. I think it's a matter they had no idea where they wanted to go. They went a place. The fans didn't like it, so like, oh, okay, the fans want to do this. Let's go in that direction.
Unless Ben Solo gets redeemed, and
oh please,
I don't know.
From what, murdering Han Solo? Give me a break. What a
There's
joke.
no redemption there.
Yeah, no.
What about Luke, man? Luke could still be alive. For all we know.
Maybe. I think it would be silly if he was.
I think he's a Force ghost.
And that's what Palpatine's going to be. I mean, if you see the trailer, you got the laugh at the end. We know who that's going to be. Everyone's like, oh, where's he coming back? I actually made a joke. I was like, dude, he's been hiding in Snoke's butt the whole time. Taking the Ant-Man route.
He's a
Force ghost. Come on, Ian McDermott.
He's that dark side puppet master.
Comics Misexplained in the chat says, looks like Rey finally washed her clothes.
Yeah, right. It's and with that said, there's supposed to be a big time jump between the 8 and 9. So yeah, she had time to do some laundry, dry cleaners, whatever. There's a new droid. That was cool. I watched the entire panel. It was pretty rad, dude.
It's like Dio.
It's Dio, yeah. The rainbow in the dark.
You should do the devil ears, Gomer.
Yeah, I look just like Ronnie Dio. He actually looks kind of like me. I think he
stole your look.
He had a perm. I'm gonna say it. Mine's natural. I'm gonna say it.
What's up, Big Perm?
Big Perm. So what do you guys think, though, overall? I mean, I'm excited, man. A lot of people want to hate on it. I'm excited.
I didn't watch it, so.
Star Wars is the in thing to hate on for whatever reason. I was
toxic fan base. That's why.
exactly. I've been a fan of Star Wars, everything Star Wars, even the garbage. I don't care. I like it. It's
I'm
fun.
happy to see Lando Calrissian back. He should have been back sooner than this.
Now, my
But
favorite meme from all this is from the Solo movie where Lando's like, "I'm gonna get my shit back," and Han's like, "Over my dead body," and then it's the new
old man Lando.
Yeah, old man Lando laughing. Easily the best acting job, because if you ever see Billy D. Williams walking around, he looks like he's about to die any minute. The poor old man.
Hey,
So
Leia,
for him
I
to
hear you
smile as
single
big as he did
again.
in the trailer, he should get an Oscar.
Is Solo the worst Star Wars movie that's been made?
It's one of my favorites, dude. I love it.
My gosh! And you hate
I thought it was
Aquaman? How does that
cool.
make
Okay.
any sense?
Aquaman.
It's better than Phantom Menace.
Well, yeah, but
No, wait, no, it's.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
I don't know.
It's way
man.
better than.
I like Phantom Menace. Everybody can hate me, but I like it.
I like
Go to
all
the
of the
corner
Star
and think
Wars
about what you
movies.
just said.
But
Clone
if I'm
Wars
ranking
sucks.
them-
I'm
if
not a
I'm
big
ranking
Clone
them,
Wars fan.
Solo is at the top, man.
Now, are
Not
we
at the tippy top, but it's up there, man. Top 3 or 4.
Are we including the animated Star Wars movie?
Man, no, only you would ever do
Those
that.
Nobody watches those, man.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
I
actually
watched
pretty
them, but I'm not
good.
going to say, "Oh my gosh, have you seen Sith Lord?"
Is Adam sitting there watching the trailer now? He's like, I got to get caught up.
He's like, "I got to catch up on this."
I'm a tag team champion.
No,
He's a world traveler.
I just haven't watched it. I just I don't know, just didn't feel like watching it. I don't.
Do you think this will make my heart explode?
Yeah,
Just curious. No, this.
Comics misexplained in Lando in the same clothes that he was wearing when he was a young Lando. I mean, he's so right. That makes no sense at all, man.
Maybe he needs to get with Ray and have somebody wash his clothes.
Yeah, that's what happened. He's like, "Hey, we found all these clothes. Let's wash them."
When,
So what
when you're a
else?
classic,
Well, I mean,
his clothes never go out of style.
He can raid Han Solo's closet because he doesn't
Isn't
need
that
it.
what happened?
No. That's what happened. Is Lando lost the Falcon to Solo, and Solo raided his closet.
So,
Yeah.
so are you telling me Lando didn't find any other clothes? You know,
He's put on a little weight. How do they?
Yes, they had to
I
do
wanna
some.
know.
It's
Yeah.
space clothes. They adjust.
they don't adjust.
You
You're
think he's
nuts.
he's just like a dirty old man now?
Yeah, I think he's a
like,
dirty old man now.
Hey, Leia.
Hey, ladies, you
single
know what they
again?
call me, Lando?
He was a dirty young man in the previous one, so it works.
He was a romantic. He's not dirty.
Yeah, he was a romantic.
He loved a robot.
That's
or
what
a
they
robot
called him back in
loved
the
him.
80s anyway. Nowadays, they call it other stuff.
So what else came out of Star Wars Celebration? Anything?
That video
That
game,
That
dude.
video game, The Fallen Order.
Is that Old Republic?
Yeah, it's like
No,
in between.
it's-
It's like in between episode 3 and 4, apparently.
Yeah, it's right after
Okay.
Order 66. Padawan is left with no master. He survives, and you follow him on his journey to become a Jedi. You know, when there's no
so
more
this
Jedi.
is Kanan Jarrus all over again.
I think they named the guy Kaz whatever. He's the Monahan kid who plays Joker in whatever in Gotham, in that Shameless show. He's an actor. It's like for real him, like his voice, his face,
Motion
mocap.
capture and all that.
It's the future. Yeah.
The future.
The future. Too bad there's no, the greatest Star Wars character of all
Too
time.
bad your camera doesn't focus.
I know. Jar Jar Binks.
How about you hold it still? It would probably help.
Misa Jar Jar Binks. Misa gonna be the
Misa.
greatest of all time.
Misa.
Misa Goat.
I still like the theory that Jar
Oh
Jar
my
is a
gosh, hold it
Sith.
still. I can't see it. Your camera sucks, man.
But we all know the real master of Disney.
Yeah,
and,
that's the guy
of
running
Star
it all.
Wars. That's the guy right there.
So,
But man,
what's
feels to
the? Go ahead.
It feels to me that Star Wars has said, "We're sorry. Please come back." They're giving us Palpatine. They're giving us old Lando. They seem to be retconning, everything that they hated from the last movie. And the video game, no loot boxes, no stupid online play where you can pay to win. None of this stuff that the fans are so vocal about hating on. And I can't say it's a bad thing. What sucks about it is people are still going to hate. No matter what happens, people are still going to hate it. And you're still going to have the fans who love it. So I'm not sure if the strategy even matters at this point with such a toxic fan base. You're not going to
That's why you
please
should
everybody.
Just tell the stories you want to tell, and if people like it, they like it, and if they don't, then go away. Which they're, I mean, they're not going to go away, but like you said, they're gonna complain and they're gonna hate on it no matter what. So I don't know.
Go away for 15 years and then come back with episode 10.
10. It'd be 10.
Yeah,
Is going to be the Game of Thrones guys? That's not going to be 10. They're not doing a 10, are they?
Yeah, the Star Wars saga is, or the Skywalker saga is over. It's done.
Yeah.
It's
Dude, I told someone last night. I said, if the Game of Thrones guys are doing Star Wars, how much nudity will be in it?
A lot.
I'd watch that.
Everyone dies.
Adam just wants to see a naked Hut.
And
aren't
they always naked?
Yeah. Chewbacca's always naked.
Yeah.
But Chewbacca has a new friend from the chat in Rise of Skywalker, and it looks like a super goofy Jabba. It does. They showed a couple of cool aliens though that I liked, but yeah, the one that they focused on was terrible. It was ugly.
You mean the giant Alice in Wonderland?
Yes.
Caterpillar.
Yes, all he needed was a bong. All he needed was a bong and a mushroom.
A-I-O-U.
But that should lead right into the Mandalorian, right? And this whole D+ news.
I thought the Mandalorian was set between episode 6 and 7.
No, I was meaning as a segue for the podcast.
You know what happens when you get a Mandalorian up to 85 miles per hour or 88 miles per hour?
He time travel. Marty.
Gomer's segue derailed with a terrible joke.
That was okay.
It's your kids, Boba. We got to do something about your kids, Boba.
Django, it's your kid.
I guess it was a decent joke because more than just Adam laughed. The best ones are when nobody laughs and then Adam goes.
Like he laughs even harder at the ones no one else laughs at.
Yeah,
I'm just
gotta give him respect. Yeah,
sticking to it. So what do we transition into? I missed the segue.
Well, D+, they're having that Mandalorian show at launch.
Disney Plus, is this the full-on conversion to SJW Marvel Cinematic Universe? And I hate to throw that out there, but the comics went that direction, and now it's like they're going back the other direction. But now here comes the MCU, and they're talking about Kate Bishop, which we're all speculating Kate Bishop in Endgame, and then now they full-on announced that there's going to be a Hawkeye with what's his name, Renner, and Kate
Renner.
Bishop too.
Yeah. So those are the 3 Marvel shows that they announced. The WandaVision, which follows Scarlet Witch and Vision, which is the dumbest name ever.
WandaVision.
Yeah.
Does it come with glasses?
Yeah, you have the special glasses to watch it. But then there's the not Captain America, Winter Soldier Falcon show. Everyone's talking that's going to be who will wield the shield, who's going to take over Captain Marvel. I don't think it is. It'd be okay if they did that, I guess.
Oh my gosh, are they just going to give it to Falcon and just follow? Oh god.
I just anything they do anymore.
Well, I like Falcon, but I don't like Falcon as Captain America.
Sure.
I just pictured Winter Soldier and Falcon in a American Gladiators competition where they have to do all the things to.
They have to run that obstacle course that shoots the tennis balls at you.
Yeah,
that was a great show. Assault.
Yeah, dude, American Gladiators was rad.
It's not as good as Guts, but
Oh man.
Oh, don't.
And I guess the third one, yes, is a rumored Hawkeye show. Renner's going to come back and he's going to train the next generation of Hawk person.
It's going to be hairstylist Hawkeye, where he styles everyone. He's a hairstylist to the heroes.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Do you ever think before you speak? I'm just curious.
No, it doesn't work out.
Is this going to add to the podcast? Nah. Let me throw it out there. Hairdresser Hawkeye. It does have a ring to it, though.
By the time I think about what I'm going to say, the moment has passed.
He's got them special arrows that just,
Yeah.
Marvel's listening. It's the next
a
miniseries.
Loki show. I guess they mentioned a Loki show.
I'm down with that one.
I'm down with all of them, man.
He dies in
reality. The Loki show's a reality prank show.
Boogie. He dies in the first episode, and then he's back somehow in the second. Yeah. Great.
Dude, did you read?
It's just a social experiment, bro.
Yeah. Did you read any reviews on the War of the Realms?
Just the one our guy wrote.
Nobody has a clue what Loki that is. They're all like, "Oh no, man, it's the one from this story that came over to that, and it's not the real Loki." But
well, there were 2 of them in like Infinity Wars or whatever.
Yeah, nobody has a clue.
Whatever.
That's what I was saying last episode. I don't think it's the actual Loki. It was another from another.
You did say that. You do.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the female Loki to return.
I liked the
Lokina?
female Loki. No,
She was actually pretty
Oh,
good.
that's what she wears, Adam.
A Lokini?
Jokes, man.
That sounds like a Star Wars reference too.
Oh, God.
Lokini. Lokini.
Any other Disney Plus announcements?
Well, the Mandalorian's coming. They got a bunch of Star Wars stuff. That What If animated show, it's What If the MCU. The first episode is going to be What If Sharon Carter or Peggy Carter? Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum, and puny old, skinny looking like me, Steve Rogers, just went on a mission and hung out and kicked it with her.
Now, let me say this.
That sounds dope, dude.
Yeah,
in the group chat, Adam said that sounds awesome. What if Marvel announced that in July they're going to do a 5-issue miniseries, and that's the premise? What would you have said? What would you have said?
You'd be like, I'll read the first issue.
Only because we made him.
Who are you talking to? Me?
Yeah.
I would read. I would pick up. Yeah. I would pick up the first issue. I'd do that with anything. And
but are you really excited about the story, or are you excited just because there's a new TV show to watch?
There's the new TV show to watch.
I'll be
honest.
That's cool.
I prefer the TV
because you wouldn't have to wait 5 months to finish it out.
Exactly, and they have they pack all the story into a short and you get the meat. You
need that immediate gratification.
Yes, and that's the world we live in. It is the TV, the live action animated versions of things are the instant soup to comic books,
like soup at hand, story at hand, instant story that you spend 45 hours binge watching so you get it all.
Yeah. As opposed to waiting months upon months to get the full story. It's like right now I'm banging my head against the wall because I want
Doomsday Clock.
I want
that we may see that till like 2020.
But that's on the opposite end of the spectrum because that takes such a long time to come out. When they do have a new issue, it's like, oh, a new Doomsday Clock. It's almost like you can get that one issue, read it, set it aside, and you're not saying, all right, let's hurry up 2 more weeks, let's hurry up 4 weeks or whatever,
6 weeks, 8 weeks.
You just kind of put it out of sight, out of mind, and then when a new issue hits, it's like, oh yay, another issue.
How did I miss this?
Back in the day with TV, you used to have to wait week to week.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was painful.
It was. Yeah. It's still painful for a lot of that stuff.
And then when the TiVo and recording came, people would sit and just let episodes build up so then they could binge watch it. Yeah. And now people
and it was terrible for ratings.
People need that immediate gratification.
I was so disappointed. The new One Punch Man hit, and I thought it was going to be all episodes.
No.
And it's just one episode at a time, and I was so disappointed.
No, not with animes at least.
It's okay.
At least non-Netflix anime.
That's the bad thing about DCU. You gotta wait.
Yeah, they'll change that, dude. I think all of these streamers will have to change that because I think Disney Plus changes the game in a way, dude. They have got such an extensive library. You're talking all the stuff from the Disney Vault, MCU, Star Wars, Pixar, just those 4 things that are already existing. Those are the biggest franchises.
Does Disney Plus put Netflix out of business?
No, they'll never put them out of business. They'll still be competing. But I think it's going to start to change the way Netflix does business. I think it's going to have to. And that's a good thing. Competition is good. Everybody's going to get better. They're going to be competing for our dollars. And I can't make a decision. I'm going to get Disney Plus. My fear is it's only going to be like 1 or 2 screens at a time. And my whole family is going to want to watch that. My daughter will watch Frozen 3 or 4 times a day, and I'm going to want to watch stuff.
And Disney Plus is slightly cheaper than
a lot cheaper.
DC Universe, right?
Yes, if you get it for the year, it's actually under $6, but I think it's under 7 if you go month to month.
Man, that's
a great deal, man.
I hope DC Universe sees that and realizes they need to step up a little. But I mean, I guess that is DC versus Marvel in a way, I guess.
But part of the problem is, man,
is.
I can think back years ago before all this streaming stuff started, and people would say, I just want to be able to choose what channels I watch, right? It's kind of like the beginning of this whole transition to what we watch, how we watch TV now.
It's not how it is anymore.
But the problem is, if you it's fine that you want to be able to pick and choose. The problem is the pricing of everything. Just looking at what I have. I've got Netflix. I've got High Spots Network, which is streaming independent wrestling shows. I've got the UFC app.
Wow.
But the problem with the UFC app is now they've gone to ESPN. So now they have cards on UFC Fight Pass. They have cards on ESPN
and you have to pay extra, right?
Yeah. Well, if you have ESPN Plus, you get, some shows are on ESPN Plus. Some shows are on Fight Pass. Some shows are on pay-per-view, and you got to pay $60 for them. Yeah. So it's like you said, Gomer, you got to pick and choose because
I don't think it's that. Back in the day, you're right. We used to say, wish we could just pick the channels that we wanted. And I don't think it's like that anymore. I think we've evolved to, I just want to watch the show that I want to watch.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to get CBS All Access for a month as soon as everything I want is out. And I'll binge it. And then I'll on to the next one. Then I'll get DC Universe for a month, watch all of Doom Patrol. And that's just what I'll have to do. And it's almost as if they're going to be, all these streamers are going to be in a pit fighting for my money. I'm going to throw money out there, and it's your job.
Are you not entertained?
You've got to impress me. You've got to bring something to the table that forces me to pick up your streaming service for that 1 month. And I think that is what's going to change the game. You know what I mean? It's easy to get Netflix right now because Netflix has so many things to watch. But when Universal comes out with another streaming service, they're doing one. Warner Brothers is supposed to be coming out with another streaming service that's going to have all of their movies and stuff on it. There's too much competition, and I don't have enough money.
Week to week, I on Netflix, when I go and look at what's new coming to Netflix and everything, it seems like more and more there's fewer movies coming to Netflix, and there's more of Netflix originals showing up. So more and more it's like their own Netflix content, and I think soon it's going to be mostly all Netflix original content that's going to be on Netflix.
It probably will be like that.
It's going to have to be, because everything that Netflix puts out is owned, or everything that Netflix puts out that they don't own is going to be owned by somebody who has a streaming service.
Yep.
So they're just going to dump it on their own thing. It's sad in a way. You know what I mean? It is.
Right now, what do you think the biggest thing Netflix has is? What do you think?
Here is probably Orange, Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Isn't Orange is the new black Netflix?
That's coming to an end. There's one more season of that left. But they've got a couple. And then look at Amazon. Amazon's got this Lord of the Rings series that's coming out. That's going to be gigantic, and this is all within the next couple of years that all of this is going to happen. They
have the Tick.
Yeah, the Tick. We're getting awesome stuff, man. It's great in a way because we're getting all this great content, but it's going to be hard to keep up.
Financially.
He's rich.
You need to throw me some passwords, bro.
You need to throw us some super chats. Look, that's a streaming service that's cost more than my house.
Right.
Look, comics. Dude, look at the chat with Comics Misexplained. He's got it all.
Adam's only 2 minutes behind.
He's a half a lap behind. It's okay.
Come, you'll catch up.
Dude, if I had all of these streaming services, though, it would cue my anxiety, because I'd be like, oh, I have to watch it all. I have to watch everything that's available.
See, my problem is not buy all these streaming services and never watch them.
Hulu Prime Day.
All right, you guys ready to make that announcement that Adam hates with a passion each and every week?
Let's get into
talk about comics.
Adam, hey, I'll give you the password to the YouTube channel, and you can just create your own show and talk about.
Let's talk about some comic books.
I made you an offer. Make your movie podcast.
Let's do it, man.
And you can run it.
I'll do it with you.
Let's talk about some dead trees with colors printed on them.
Let's talk about dead trees.
Oh, man. At least Gomer likes comic books.
That'd be a great name for a show. Dead Trees with Boogie.
Dead.
Be in the live chat all by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like? I would like some dead trees with pictures printed on it for my entertainment.
Thank you.
But we have dead trees that have words printed on it for your
Come on, David. Join the podcast.
Yeah, David. He's just been doing voiceovers the whole time.
Just interrupting over top of us every time we bring something up. He sings.
Not
like a dancing monkey.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Interrupting David.
Boo!
Adam's like, yeah, it's David that does that. Yeah, David.
Comics Misexplained. I think Hulu and Spotify, you get those for free together. Just FYI. Save some money, maybe.
You can't hide money. He don't care.
He doesn't matter.
Batman Who Laughs, number 4. David.
Batman Who Laughs, number 4. Let me bring up my notes.
Oh, I'm so glad you're ready.
Yeah, we're only 30 minutes into the podcast. That's fine.
All right. Batman Who Laughs, number 4. Scott Snyder on the writing duties. Jock on the art duties. We got David Barron on colors and Sal Kapernaum.
That's a lot of duties.
What? Who?
Sal Kapernaum.
Say it again.
Kip.
No, say it the same way. I love it.
Sal Kapernaum.
That's close. That's totally wrong, but whatever.
Oh, well.
I love it. I love it when you mispronounce stuff.
Okay. Batman is sinking deeper and deeper into, like, I guess, insanity as he's trying to understand how the Batman Who Laughs operates. Now he's got like his own little version of the visor with the dark metal so he can see the things that the Batman Who Laughs sees.
Yeah, I'll stop you there for a moment. I'm sorry. I love
Get in there, man.
I love that this visor actually has like a meaning and a purpose behind it, because it's kind of lame. It looks cool.
It functionally until now. Functionally, it was like,
this is
why?
not lame.
Functionally, dude, though, I mean, functionally, it's like, man, it's got to be hard to see.
Yeah,
but they explained it away.
They explained that it's made of dark metal.
I don't know why it needs the spikes, but whatever.
I don't know either. You know,
people cosplaying in it, just walking around, running into people.
Yeah, just running into people, poking their eyes out.
Well, you know, you can make that out of like transparent Warbler, right?
Oh, here we go.
You can't. Good gosh.
Welcome to the cosplay channel.
Hey, David, you want to start your own cosplay? I'll give you the cosplay.
I will. There was a very emotional confrontation between Batman and Alfred, where Alfred's like, you know, you've always, despite everything you've always done, you've never crossed that line, and this is crossing that line, Bruce. And they get into a fight over that. It seemed very, very touching, you know, how when it came to an end, Batman was like really regretful. We kind of get a little more background into the Batman Who Laughs and how he was actually like really good friends with his world's version of Gordon. And apparently, I guess he's trying to remake Gotham City in his own image. I still hate the black on or the red on black text. That is just makes it difficult to read.
Makes you work for it, man.
Yeah, I'm like having to sit here with like, you know, like an independent light source, like a flashlight, to read it. Be like, oh, I hate that. And Batman and the Joker have a kind of a touching moment where
that was weird. I don't.
It was
really.
It was
even come from, dude.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was like where, you know, Joker shows up and is like, you know, all this time I've always wanted to be the one who beats you, you know, so that way you're screaming at my feet while I'm laughing. But, you know, in the end, I don't want either of us to win. And Batman says, you know, Batman asks him, like, you know, if I turn out to be like this Batman Who Laughs, will you do what's necessary and kill me? And Joker's like, cross my heart. And they both seem to have a laugh like that.
Yeah, let's have a laugh over this moment where Batman's promising to make sure that the evil homicidal mass murderer is never killed. Thanks, Batman. I hate it. It's just so weird, dude.
I knew you were going to crap on this. I knew you were going to crap on this.
So weird. I mean, I'm digging it. It's just weird, dude.
It goes in crazy directions. Like the Grim Knight is using like those weird robins to like track down Gordon.
Yeah.
What's so weird about the Joker and Batman conversation? That was my favorite part. That was the entire comic book.
That was one of the favorite parts of the book.
It's like Bruce Wayne or Batman was agreeing with him that I don't ever want the game to end. But what the game is mass murder. That's
No.
Joker's game. Yes,
what he
it
said
is.
was, I'm on this fine line of becoming the
Sure.
Batman who laughs in order to stop the Batman who laughs. And what he's saying is Batman who laughs is way darker and way more evil than the Joker. So he's saying, if I cross that line, will you be willing to kill me? Batman's being a hero, and the Joker's like, of course I'll kill you. That's what I've always wanted.
And I'm with that. I'm with that portion of it. But the part just before that, when the Joker is like, I don't ever want the game to end. I
don't want either of us to win.
I don't want either of us to win.
It was just building up drama.
I got it. I'm with you. I'm just. It was weird, dude. It was weird.
We
lock this criminal up, Batman.
Hey, remember when Batman knelt down to pray beside Joker in that one issue?
Because Joker held himself hostage? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, very odd.
Wah, wah, wah,
wah. And that's exactly what it is. It feels like that. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, this does not feel anywhere near what that was. This is so much better.
Like,
Come on.
Here's Joker and Batman twisted all together. Now here's Joker and Batman separate, while the Joker is helping Batman to not become a Batman Joker hybrid, because Joker loves the battle so much. He loves the game so much. He doesn't want to see his adversary become worse than him. Does Joker is there like an honor thing there? No. Joker just wants to continue to be nuts and kick ass and be this thing that disrupts all life in Gotham City. And Batman, in a way, is saying, yeah, I want you to do that too.
But I feel like the funny part about this, the sides that we're taking, I feel like you're looking at it from the Joker standpoint, and I'm looking at it from Batman's standpoint. Yeah. I think that's where we're coming from on this whole conversation.
Yeah.
And wouldn't Batman himself have a contingency for something like this? Like if it's
the Justice League.
It's supposed to be the Justice League. That's actually a good point, because they're kind of making it a point here to say Batman doesn't have a contingency against the Batman who laughs. He's been one step ahead of him the whole time.
The Batman who laughs has been out Batmaning Batman this whole series. And it's like at the end of it, when Batman goes to, Blackgate Prison to find that portal, and he gets swept into another world with a Bruce Wayne that's like, I rebuilt the Blackgate Prison to be better for holding people like this. And
that's another aspect of this that I think Snyder is getting at. In all of the talk about the Batman who laughs and the Grim Knight, he is showing other versions of Batman who are actually better at being Batman than he is. And there he's sort of saying when Batman doesn't murder people, just like with the Grim Knight, when he does the things that he sort of does that, sure, they seem heroic and they seem like a good idea at the time, but basically what he's doing, especially in this issue, is saying, hey, super criminal, make sure you murder me because you're a really good murderer if I go too far. But isn't he sort of aiding and abetting a criminal without getting... I just don't know. There's a line here that I feel Batman isn't trying to cross, but he's okay with letting other people cross it so he doesn't cross it. Why is all this cover your ass stuff going on, Batman? You're a hero. You're supposed to be arresting all these folks. All of them. It just seems weird to me, man. It's weird.
It does.
The Alfred stuff, though, like you said, was dope.
The confrontation between Alfred and Batman was pretty good.
Moment.
That was very emotional because it's, that father-son dynamic that they kind of have. Alfred's like, I'm not going to allow you to continue down this road if it costs you what it's going to cost you.
I love the stuff with the visor in that part of the story too, where Alfred's doing it out of love, and then Batman's got the visor on, and he keeps seeing just Alfred being a savage.
Yeah. Now, is he actually seeing those darker elements of Alfred's psyche, or is that him just being manipulated by the dark energy of the dark multiverse? I don't know. They left that kind of open. I think.
Yeah, it's very open to interpretation.
Well, let's think about it. If what Alfred is doing is out of love, but at the same time, he's bashing Bruce's brains in. If I'm punching somebody, if I'm out here sparring in a boxing match, we can be best friends. But when I throw a right cross, I'm throwing it with intent to hurt. So, that there is that. I think it's real. I don't think anything's being manipulated.
It's cool though, man. There's a lot of cool things here, but I think the most important thing for me is it's making me think about the whole Batman dynamic with the villain. And I think the Batman Who Laughs being this hybrid of both the Joker and Batman works, to dive deeper into who the character really is. And if nothing else, that series is doing that pretty well.
Well, look at the conversation it opens up every time we talk about this book. It opens up conversation, and that's what makes it great, man. I love this book.
Yeah.
Let's move on to a story about a woman and a tiger head guy. Fairlady, number 1.
That's our word. You're not allowed to use that word.
Welcome to it's Calvina and Hobbes.
Gaumer sucking up in the live chat.
Oh, what? For saying thank you? What do you? Come on, man. I appreciate when people say good things about me.
Yeah, like when I get in a fight with somebody for buying Cyberfrog and all this drama on Twitter, and Gomer's like, well, he did say I was good, so I kind of like it.
Yes, that's so happened.
Boogie. You talking about a fight, and before that, you're talking about right hooks. I think you got some aggression issues there, Boog.
Dude, I finally rolled for the first time at jiu-jitsu this week, so I'm ready to choke somebody, bro.
I love that comment I made on. Never mind. Go ahead.
No, come on. Oh no, I told my jiu-jitsu coaches, I was like Thursday night, I said, you guys did laugh at that, and everybody's like, yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Inside joke.
I'm great.
Oh, now you're just happy again because I congratulated you on a joke.
So while they're on the inside, everyone else who's on the outside looking in, we're going to talk about Fairlady number 1, written by Brian Shermer, art by Claudia Balboni and Marissa Louise, and letters by David Bowman. This book follows Jenner Falls, who is the Fairlady. She is the only licensed private investigator in the aftermath of the War of Harshland, where I guess men were only allowed to fight. So she did the Joan of Arc route and impersonated a man.
I would have gone Mulan. I'd have gone Mulan.
Oh, Mulan. There you go. Even better.
We are going to make a man out of you.
I thought now is like the perfect time to sing, and he doesn't sing.
I did.
That wasn't a sing. That wasn't.
So after the war, men became investigators, licensed investigators called fairmen. So she became the first woman investigator, which is why she's Fairlady. Hence the name of the book.
It all fits. It all works.
It's like a puzzle. And her partner, the giant cat that Boogie mentioned, is Onu, I think.
I just call him the cat dude.
Cat dude. Well, he's a anthropomorphic cat, and I believe their species is called a Jesu.
Cat people are in this year for some reason.
No, I'm a Jesu. Gesundheit.
There's that laugh I love so much.
Yeah, when no one else laughs.
So this book, each book is a case in of itself, kind of like a noir investigation. This first book, they're tracking an embezzling bookkeeper. And in their investigation, they discover an artifact from the battle that Jenner fought in, I believe, leading them to the bookkeeper, Samantha. But they find out that it may not be the money that is the reason Samantha is on the run, on the move, if you will. Okay.
I don't even know who that was.
That was David. That was David, or he's playing Minecraft and just ran past a cow. This book is I mean, it's not bad. It's just a story following this lady and her giant cat, and they're doing investigations. There you go. That's it. The art is art. No, I'm kidding. The art is good. The art is good. It's a good story. You know, you sit down, just kick back and read this. You don't have to wait till the next issue to find out what happens, because each one's going to be a contained investigation.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, I like that. So it's not a bad book.
Yule Carter's in the chat. What up, Yule?
Actually, I wasn't looking forward to reading this book this week, but after reading it, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was nice. I thought it was a nice self-contained little story for this first issue. They, kind of have a resolution, but don't have a resolution, but they end up finding the person that they're hunting for. But I thought the art was pretty good. The story and the pacing was actually a lot better than I expected it to be. And for Boogie's benefit, there are maps.
I liked this book. I expected to hate this book. Well, I don't know. It's funny comparing it to Section 0 from last week, right? There was some weird stuff in Section 0, but I last week I said they were all over the place. They're just like throwing stuff at the wall, hoping it sticks. This was weird. Look at the cover. You know what you're getting into right out of the gate. But I liked it, man. I like the story. I like the main character, and I like that premise that she changed her identity, I guess, to fight in the war. And I think that's even a story you could go back and tell later, like a full 6-issue flashback arc, maybe. But it's a fun adventure. It's good art. It was fun. It wasn't great by any means.
Now, did they build this town in the wreckage of a giant mech?
Yeah, dude. That was the coolest part for me, was that town that was built out of the body of a dismembered big giant robot.
What it looked like was Galactus in the mountain in Fantastic Four right now.
Right.
And the book
quite a bit.
The book itself is thick.
Yes.
And when I
debut issue.
Yeah, I picked it up at the shop and looked at it. It was thick, and I was like, okay, this has got to be like a $5.99 book, like $3.99. I mean, you got a lot of content, a full story for $3.99. That's the way a book should be, in my opinion.
That's how I like them, thick.
They had to do a little bit of they had to do a little bit of world building for the first issue, definitely, before they get into, I guess, their normal swing of things when they're just going to tell one self-contained story every issue. I think it is going to do that, but I also think there's going to be more storytelling about the characters, and we're going to find out more about what's going on. This hit all the right notes, even the design. There were a lot of mix-ups with the design of different panels. Like, they would show that big robot town and then show where all the places are. They had this 2-page spread, I think, of like her room, and then showed where all the things were in her room. Yeah, they had a page that was just one piece of art on the side, and then it had the banner on the edge that had the dialogue in it. I really like that. But this was missing something for me. I don't know what it was. I can't quite put my finger on it. It was like almost great, but it was just missing one thing. And I just can't put my finger on it, but it was really good.
A villain. I think David
this week, maybe.
I think David brought up a good point. A better villain.
Yeah. An antagonist. We now have a protagonist. We just don't have. You know what it kind of reminded me of?
I'm gonna guess. Can I guess?
Go ahead, guess.
Copperhead.
Yes, it did remind me of Copperhead.
Look at that. Soulmates.
Copperhead Road.
That's scary.
Heterosexual life mates.
I don't know.
Oh, my bad. I brought the whole podcast to a crash.
You guys are going to be in Faithless number 2. It's going to be a standalone story. I will read it. Let's talk Star Wars. Star Wars Age of Rebellion. Oh, wow. You didn't have to do that for me, but thanks. Age of Rebellion, Grand Moff Tarkin number 1. This is right in line with the Age of Republic one-shots that we've been talking about, it feels like every week on this podcast. But so this week we get Age of Rebellion, Grand Moff Tarkin, and Princess Leia. Let's talk about it. Tooth and Claw, written by Greg Pak. He's also, did you see, I saw on Twitter yesterday, I think it was, that he's taking over the main Star Wars title with Phil Noto.
Yeah. I had that news.
Phil Noto.
I had that word. I had that news like on Wednesday.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Week. That was actually broken with an Amazon release. Amazon had solicited the trade.
What issue are they on right now? Because that's a jumping on point. I've been flipping through them every week at the shop. Maybe
Phil Noto on anything is a good sell for me.
Yeah, Phil Noto is great.
Art on this issue, Mark Laming. I'm making that up as I go. Colors by Jordan Boyd and Niraj Menon. Letters by VC's Travis Lanham.
Travis, thank you.
I couldn't read this book without you.
Land ham.
This issue, David didn't show up for the pre-show. Adam wasn't really listening, so I don't know who read this.
Huh?
I think Adam read it. A lot of layers to this story. We start with Grand Moff Tarkin as a kid, and he's out in the woods with his uncle, and it's this old trope of becoming a man. You got to kill or be killed, fight for your life, blah, blah, blah. Then we jump ahead to Tarkin on the Death Star, and it's right before A New Hope, and the Empire is testing out the Death Star against this neutral planet that has nothing to do with the war. You see that the Death Star's got 168 gunners in order to use this weapon.
Poor design.
If one person doesn't do their job correctly, then the weapon malfunctions or goes off delayed. We always talk about on this podcast what makes a great villain, right? Their road to being a villain, their backstory, their past, all this baggage they carry. And you see this in this story. You don't really see that backstory. All they needed was 2 or 3 pages to give you this grasp of Tarkin as he confronts these gunners, because when they go to test it, it malfunctions. In person, he just confronts him, kind of gives him this speech, but then you get this weird dark vision in his head, man, where he's pulling out this knife that he had when he was hunting. He's stabbing one of these gunners. It's so dark, and then we learn that's just all in his head, and we fast forward to actually that well-known scene in episode 4 where they blow up Alderaan.
Line for line.
Once again, the gunners hesitated, but what makes it so dark is you find out why. You find out that at least one or more of these gunners are from Alderaan, and so they struggled to pull the trigger, and Tarkin takes them out pretty quick. This was a good little one-shot, man. I liked it. Like I said, a lot of layers to it for just one story, man. I dug it.
Yeah, I dug this a lot too. That scene you were talking about where he's sort of, I don't know, dreaming about taking off his shirt, and
he's jacked.
He's just jacked, scarred. It was
his Riverdale moment.
Yeah, it was almost as though he was equating his role as a leader to getting in the pit. This is how you show people that you deserve respect and that you will command your fealty. You will do exactly what I say when I say it, or I'm going to throw you in the pit, because that's what happened to him. And he learned from that. And yeah, it was brutal. It was like
just
you said,
no rancor in the pit.
Yeah, it was the birth of a villain sort of, story. And I love the callbacks to Star Wars, the movies and stuff. Just great. I love everything about these little one-shots, dude. It's just the perfect little taste of Star Wars without having to, invest in a bunch of stuff, man. It was great.
Says the man with the giant Darth Vader sitting behind him.
So, yeah.
You don't have to invest and spend all this money, but they come out every single week, and it's just draining my bank account.
Yeah.
Did anybody else read this? Adam, you read it, didn't you?
No. I flipped through it at the shop. I landed on the page of Moff shirtless, and I put it back down.
You missed out, bro.
Super hot, dude.
That would have made me want to buy.
That's all right.
Dude.
I got all I need to know about him from the movies.
Wow. You
That's
arrogant prick.
You're welcome.
You picked up the wrong one, because I know you read the Princess Leia one shot. We'll talk about it.
It was pretty good too. Greg Pak, Chris Sprouse, Will Sliney, Mark Deering, Carl Story. Yeah, 4 artists on this. Tamara Bonneville did the colors, and Travis Lanham, twofer.
Lanham.
Busy Lanham.
Yeah, I like this too. Again, it's another little small taste of Star Wars. Familiar, satisfying without a ton of investment. Is follow Leia as she prepares to get Han out of Jabba's palace. Basically, that's it. It's just clear cut, straightforward. It sort of shows how she had to become a scoundrel in a way to be able to become a scoundrel. She was pretending to be a bounty hunter and to go get Han out. And she does that in this. It's sort of like a dress rehearsal for that. Her going and saving Lando from some mess that he got into, wearing the same clothes he wears all the time. But yeah, it was good. A 2 for 2 on the Star Wars books.
You know what I stumbled upon with this one is that Greg Pak, you say Pak, I say Pack, and then I give in to peer pressure and I say Pak.
I don't know. I think it's Pak. I don't know.
Well, I think it's Pack. So
we'll see. I'll start changing it up.
Anyway, he did his homework, man. He did his homework because I start digging of how Leia ended up with the Bosch, however you say it, outfit. And I thought maybe that's where he was going with this story. But I mean, it's canon that Bosch, whatever, attacked Leia on Ord Mantell, and they talk about that in this issue. That's how she came across the suit in the first place. But I just think it's cool that all of these stories, man, but especially these Age of Rebellion, that you're adding to a story that George Lucas told 40 years ago, and still adding to it. It's not just a story; you're adding to that story.
Still finding stuff to pull from there to tell cool stories is fun.
You playing with your toys again?
And they've announced the next run, the Age of Resistance. There's going to be a Finn one shot, a Rey one shot, a Poe one shot, same as these. And who did I say was writing those? I don't forgot now. I don't know. It's going to be good though.
Did you put it in the message? Because I thought you brought up like Tom King.
I did at one point.
How did I miss that?
I think you brought up Tom King.
No, Tom King's not writing. No.
Wait, I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah. But it's going to be great. It's going to be cool. I'm excited.
Wow, next week we've got the Age of Rebellion special.
Tom Taylor.
There you go.
Okay, sorry.
I'm tipping my tongue.
Tom King, Tom
I knew there was a Tom in there.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah. It's one Tom from another.
Yeah, and you'll right. It's right in the chat. Those characters need some extra story, and I'm anxious to see it, man. I'm anxious to get it.
Adam?
Oh yeah.
Silence. Oh.
Silence.
Oh no, yeah, I bought this, but I didn't read it.
I just
truth.
It was all right. I just didn't. I like seeing Leia in the. I don't know what you'd call it. The what is the bounty? Is there a name for the bounty hunter?
I've only said it 14 times in the last 2 minutes.
The bounty hunter.
Bosh, don't you know your Star Wars?
No, it was not know every character's name.
Adam's like, this is why I just say I didn't read it. It's way easier.
Yeah, I didn't read this.
This is a series where even incidental characters get names.
I got this cover, showing this cover.
Oh, nice.
I'm curious what made you go towards this book versus the other one.
Because this cover was on the rack and it comes with a bag and board, and I didn't need to buy an extra bag and board.
Makes sense financially.
Wow, that's why I did it too.
Boogie, if you want that cover, you can have it. I don't want it.
Yule Carter in the chat, fake geek girl. I don't know what that means. What I miss?
I don't know.
Fake geek girl.
Yule has stumped us all. Check out Yule's live stream. I don't know what your YouTube's under. Oh no. Put it in the chat, Yule.
Yeah, can he post links in the chat?
Yeah, you can. And also, if Comics Misexplained is still in the chat, post your all's live stream in there too.
He just
pimp it.
Was she shirtless?
Not knowing Star Wars.
Oh, he's calling out Adam. For not knowing Star Wars
well, I do know.
Comics Misexplained. That's exactly why Adam picked this one up. Whereas me and Gaumer, we see Moff Tarkin shirtless. We're like, I'm
all over it.
What do you mean? It's not like I got it because there was a cosplay girl on the cover.
Adam's defending himself like crazy. Yeah. Speaking of shirtless,
this is why I don't pick up Star Wars books. All right.
Let's talk about Faithless #1.
Oh my, let's do it.
Faithless #1.
Full half chub reading this. It was great.
Dude.
Wow. All right. Faithless #1.
that was a
you derailed this train before it even got on the track.
Gaumer using that placeholder while he's reading.
Ryan Azzarello is on the writing duties. We have Maria Lovett on the art duties and the world design on letters. I couldn't find a listing for a colorist.
That's a lot of duties.
Why are you the only one on the podcast that can't ever find?
I think the artist did everything.
Okay.
Well,
it seems like every week David struggles.
It doesn't have a credit for a colorist, unless
colorist.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yule's just as torn up as Gaumer is with this book.
I mean,
yeah, dude, this is hot. We sold out. Of course, you sold out. It's porn.
It is.
Go ahead, David.
All right, so we get introduced to this
legal porn.
we get introduced to this girl named Faith, and
if you left the card at the comic book shop, there may be a problem.
The most interesting way. There's stuff in here that masturbation. Yay!
Oh my gosh!
Are there boobies?
There are boobies. There are boobies in this comic book, but we'll get to them later.
David's the perfect guy to be doing this.
He really is. I'd try to be all serious and artsy about it.
Yeah. So, Faith, she's in a coffee shop. She's goofing around, drawing her. I guess it would be magic symbols, the right of intent, and all that. I guess I don't know. Her friends are goofing on her. Why you practice this stuff? It's not real. And well, she bumps into this girl named Poppy.
Literally.
Causes the coffee to spill on her, and they start having a conversation in which Poppy just takes off her shirt in the store and swaps out to another shirt because Poppy's in the store to try to avoid. She's ghosting somebody, I guess a boyfriend or a jilted lover or something. So, they're making their way down the street, and jilted lover man named Michael shows up, and he's like, "Why did you leave me? Why did you leave me? Tell me, give me a reason." And, Faith kind of intervenes, and Michael's left thinking that, is Poppy and Faith an item? I'm just watching
almost as good as Adam.
I'm just watching your reaction here. So I guess they go to some bar or something, and they're playing pool, and on the TV they're having this discussion, and on the TV screen pops Michael breaking news, and Michael's up on a building wanting to jump off, and he does. And he goes splat, and it's very artistically done. I love I actually like those panels because it's like, he's high up and he's in the middle, and we have, oh my goodness, no.
Yeah, great design there for the suicide.
Yes.
Jeez.
But Poppy wants some consoling. Her ex-lover that she's ghosted just
does she though?
I don't know.
She seems like kind
of happy about it, but there's
happy, but not caring really.
Well, when we get further into the book, it's kind of things going on. But some other things like I'm not exactly sure if the wallet dropped, but they're walking, and Faith, I guess, picks somebody's pocket and then returns the wallet, and the guy gives her money. So, and kind of going into an explanation of the magic symbols and some art. But then they have a few drinks. They get in the shower. It gets hot and steamy, and then we end up with a maggot cunnilingus.
Yeah, that's a good medical term for it. Yeah, they're having an encounter, and
they're having some sexual.
Yeah, homegirl's made out of maggots. She's horrible.
I don't, because the underlying theme is that I guess, what if the supernatural or the god pays attention to you? And I keep thinking that, Poppy, her running into Poppy is not an accident, that it's intentional, and that all these other things that are starting to happen are because Poppy is doing it.
See, I'm not sure about that either. It's crazy though. It's a weird story, man.
It is very strange. I love the artwork in this. The color works.
I bet you do.
Well, there's these really nice 7-panel layouts that are always done. I'm a sucker for 9-panel layouts, so we have 7-panel layouts, and it's really well paced. I really like the art. The colors pop in it. The character designs are fairly good. It's just there's a degree of high strangeness, I guess I could put it safely, that's going on in this book that really needs an explanation to it. I mean, did Faith get the attention of this supernatural being? Is this supernatural being working through Poppy, or is Poppy the supernatural being?
That's a good point. It leaves it open. I think even without all the gratuitous sex that was found in this issue, you're right. It was well paced. The art was great. It was a cool story. Yeah. So even without that, it was so good. That was just kind of
it's no more gratuitous than, say, Sunstone.
Well, you say that, but I mean, Sunstone has full on, nudity on like every other page.
Yeah, but
And
this
like
had
all
this
kinds
had like
of sex acts in Sunstone.
yeah, there is.
Which everybody should read that. It's awesome.
Everybody should read that. Yes, Stephen Fedgic. Yeah.
I've got the internet to look at that stuff. I don't need it in a comic.
It's a good story though too.
It's a
Did
good
you read
story.
it, Adam?
No.
I like Brian Azzarello's work.
You didn't miss anything. This book sucked. If it wasn't for all the nudity and porn, then people wouldn't be talking about it. It was freaking soap opera. That's all it was.
Soap opera, sure.
There's a woman with an ex and a random hookup, and listening to David talk about it was way better than reading the comic book itself. That's my opinion.
No,
probably
that's
unpopular
fair.
opinion.
No, it's fair. I still think if you remove all that sex stuff out of there, it was still
a very strange, interesting
it was a
story.
Strange, sure.
It was paced well. The art was good. I mean,
the art was great.
Yeah,
but was it on the level of some of those Ice Cream Man stories as far as strangeness?
No.
The strangeness didn't even really happen until the end.
Yeah, right.
That's the problem. Is the magic is like this distant thing in the past, while they're showing this random hookup in a coffee shop that I did not care anything about.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I think they're weaving the strangeness through there because, like I said, I don't know if Poppy is responsible for the suicide of Michael, but I don't even know if Michael's a real person.
See, you're getting way too deep.
No, I probably am. Maybe not real person, but this whole suicide thing was broadcasted on the news.
Exactly.
Yeah, but maybe it was a manifestation of Poppy.
Possibly.
I don't know.
If Poppy's the supernatural being, if she's,
I think you're looking way too deep into it.
It's the first issue. I'm looking way too deep into it. But
you're gonna read issue 2?
I probably will pick up issue 2.
There we go. There's your answer. I won't. I'll thumb through it. Look for the good panels.
Yeah, I bet you will. I just want to continue to see how the story's developing.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to see how the maggot girl turns out.
Amazing Spider-Man number 19.
Oh, that is me. Hunted, part 3. Nick Spencer and Gerardo Sandoval. Colors were Edgar Delgado and Eric Arciniega. Thanks, guys. VC's Joe Caramagna.
Joey C.
This is really just more of the same for the Hunted storyline that's going through with Kraven and everything. Vulture sort of rallies the villains together while Spidey craps all over him. Like, we care about any of that. I'm just not sure that's... I mean, at least Vulture has a plan. Spider-Man's plan is, let's everybody get out of here. I mean, that's an okay plan, but you don't think Kraven's smarter than you? And why do you need their help, Spider-Man? If you want to go find a way out, go find a way out. If you want to be a hero, start kicking some butt instead of running away and letting Gibbon die. Jerk.
Freaking Gibbon. Rest in peace, brother.
Yeah. And then we go back to Black Cat and that little lizard boy that we can't stand. And they end up busting out of their prison. That was actually kind of fun, her using her powers in a weird way. Taskmaster finally captures the big lizard, the big guy, Mr. Connors himself, Doc Connors, sorry, for Arcade. And then Black Ant shows up and tells Spider-Man that he knows what's up with this whole thing. There's a secret. That's it. This is pretty good-ish. Felt like a little bit of a filler. It's a slow drag. Good art, but just like all Marvel comics for the most part, they add an issue that there's no business being there, and I think that this is that issue for this event.
But is it adding an issue that there's nothing there, or is Black Cat going to be the hero to this whole story? Spider-Man's going to continue running around looking like an idiot, and
he does too. He just looks like an idiot.
She's going to come in and save the day, and she's going to be the hero, and then the Hunted's going to end. And Spence, it's disappointing with how up and down Spencer's run's been on Spider-Man, because I think the Hunted started off pretty hot, but it took us how many issues to get here?
4 at least.
The Vulture stands out in this story more than Spider-Man. I like him rallying the troops with a bunch of lies. And I love that Spencer made the dialogue so over the top.
Yeah.
You know, it's like so goofy and cheesy and the opposite of everything that happened with the Gibbon. But it's funny you bring up the Connors kid, because the last thing in my notes says that I hope Taskmaster kills Black Cat and the Connors kid both.
No, they're gonna make it. They're gonna be the heroes.
I know,
of this
but
thing.
I want him to kill them both. Be awesome, but it ain't gonna happen.
I mean, the Spider-Man book, the Amazing Spider-Man book, it's good, but it's like hit or miss. That Gibbon book, what was it? Just last week.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. And then this is just kind of like, man, that's what you follow up with. Is this?
That's what I'm telling you. His entire run has been up and down.
It's very disappointing.
Good issue, bad issue, mediocre, just up and down.
It's very disappointing.
Could be like Dan Slott, and the entire first like 7 issues suck. So I guess he's got that going for him.
I guess. I really wanted this to be good coming off of that Gibbon book. I wanted more. You know?
It was okay. It just wasn't great.
It was okay, but it didn't give us anything new. Not really.
Yeah.
You know, Vulture's trying to rally them. Spider-Man says no. That's a page and a half, dude. That should be a page and a half. And what else you got? You got Black Cat and the Lizard Boy. I'm cool with Black Ant having, you know, some knowledge that Spider-Man is going to be able to use, but that's your cliffhanger for the book. That's your cliffhanger for the issue. Is Black Ant. I mean, and then I guess the Lizard shows up, but we knew the Lizard was going to show up. I don't know. Come on, Marvel. Anyway. All right. That's it.
Random reviews presented by Collar and Elbow Brand. Check them out. collarandelbowbrand.com. Use the promo code ComicCast at checkout. Save 10%. I got a wrestling shirt on. I just don't have a Collar and Elbow Brand, but check them out. All the links are in the description. David, we don't know where we're going with this because you
missed out
at the pre-show. I don't know what you were doing. We're in the middle of the pre-show and you're just calling people. What'd you read?
I was sitting there waiting for you to call me.
Called you 4 times, bro.
And it never showed up.
It worked when you called us, though.
All right.
Technology. We let the guy go first that wasn't in the pre-show, so watch him just run through all of our books.
Right.
All right. Gunning for hits number 4. This was actually really good. They kind of resolve a lot of things in this issue with like the David Bowie character and we finally figure out what his intentions are, and he does get called a vampire in this, but for different reasons. Because I was thinking he's a vampire, he's David Bowie. Yeah. Martin kind of takes care of Barbarossa in a very fun way. It cost Barbarossa his job for costing him $15 million to sign over Brian Slade and get that whole music library of songs and stuff. And it's just this like crazy jumping from place to place. And a character that I hated in the first issue, I kind of had a little bit more respect for in this issue. Diane, the Billy's girlfriend and manager, really stepped up when Brian Slade was trying to steal Billy's material, and really stepped up to Brian Slade and Brian Slade's manager. That I forget her name, but she's the bitch they refer to her as.
She really is.
But oh my god, this was such a good book.
It's a good book.
It's a good book. This is like, you know, this is like in running for like my best series of the year so far.
Wow, it's early.
Yeah. But also I picked up issue 2 of Ronin Island.
I read that.
We get a little more explanation on what the Brion are. There's a lot of tension between the Islanders and this General Sato. And Hannah kind of comes to a conclusion that maybe we should be helping out General Sato in the shogunate.
Yeah.
And then my favorite book of the week has to be the Rat Queen special, The Swamp Romp. The Rat Queens are hired by an elderly fellow to avenge the death of the elderly fellow's beloved unicorn. And they go to a swamp called the Gloom Swamp or something like that. I guess it's like a take on like the Swamp of Sadness from the Neverending Story.
No tags.
But they're hired to kill the creature that's killing the unicorns, and it turns out have any of you ever seen or know of The Last Unicorn?
Of course, man.
Okay, there's the Red Bull. The creature, it's not necessarily a bull, but it has some similarities to the bull. But it turns out that unicorns are assholes. the creatures killing the unicorns because one, they're assholes, and two, they spread a disease called unichlamydia.
What?
Yeah.
They actually call it unichlamydia?
They call it something like that.
I got to read this.
Unichlamydia or something. It's
over.
really funny.
It burns when they magic.
Yeah, but my favorite character of the book, of the series, Violet, the dwarven warrior, she gets affected by it and really affected by it. She's like running around getting eaten up by or bitten by the unicorns, and they slay the unicorns. And it turns out the old man who hired them was a bit of a pervert, had a massive fortune, and buried it in the swamp. I really like this new team on this book.
It's not lasting though, is it? There's a new team coming.
The new team actually is moving on to the ongoing series, starting with issue 16. They put an advert in it in the several pages of artwork in this book.
Oh, good.
But Ryan Ferrier and Priscilla Peteretis, are the new writer and artist team on this book, and I was actually really, really happy with this book. It's been a while since I've been really happy with a Rat Queen's book.
But it's had some turmoil with the creators.
There's been a lot of up and down with that, but I'm actually liking this new team and looking forward to issue 16.
That's awesome.
And that concludes my review.
And that concludes my TED Talk.
No, that was earlier.
Yeah.
I'll jump in. The Flash number 68, Joshua Williamson, Scott Collins. The Trickster is back. He's been back, but he's using the Sage Force to freaking control people of Central City. And as much as I'm sick of all the Sage Force, Strength Force, all that crap, this is a fun story. And the artwork, Scott Collins is so good. Williamson has worked with a lot of different people on this Flash run, but this may be some of my favorite work. I love it. The book ended on a cliffhanger. A lot of times these cliffhangers happen, and I'm just kind of like, whatever. And I'm not one to spoil things on this show, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I know this is hashtag comic books and it's all going to go away, but the freaking Trickster cut off Barry Allen's legs with a chainsaw, and it was so awesome. I loved it, dude. I loved it. I know it'll go away and he'll come back and everything will be fine, but it was such a great.
He'll be walking on his hands.
Just got freaking nubs with bandages. So great.
Barry Allen, you got magic legs.
No more happy feet for you.
I also read Journey into Mystery #1 from the McElroys, which are podcast guys. I guess anybody can write a comic book at Marvel now.
Let's do it, guys.
Let's do it. I got an idea for a comic book.
Why not? This was okay. It's if the War of the Realms is the main event, this is the mid card full of B+ players. It's a little goofy. It's lighthearted. The premise is good. You got Balder the Brave assigned the task of looking after Thor's sister. I don't even know how to say it. Lausa, Odin's daughter. And he thinks he's going to be, it's almost kind of funny. It is almost kind I don't think it was meant to be funny in this way, but he thinks he's going to be joined by this team of great superheroes: Hawkeye, Spider-Man, a man of sorcery. And he learns that things have changed while he's been in hell. And instead, he gets the B+ players: Miles Morales, Kate Bishop, Wonder Man, Sebastian Druid, Deathlocket, and Thori. Thori's awesome, though. This was okay. I had fun with it. Whatever. You don't need to read it. I'm going to keep reading it, though, so there's that.
Well, good.
Yay.
Oh, my MCU rewatch continues. It was a little slow this week. I watched Thor 2 and Captain America Winter Soldier, which, man, Winter Soldier's so freaking good.
Winter Soldier's my favorite MCU movie. It's good even without superheroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you could just remove all the superheroes from that, and it's still just a good movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
what's on Gomer's pile?
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #5. Tom Taylor and Yildiray Sinar. Continues to be my favorite Spidey book. All of them are good, but this one's just it's a hero on the ground. Peter Parker's got some crazy troubles going on with Aunt May's diagnosis of cancer. And for a moment, you're like, oh, he's not going to show up. But they get to, like, he's not going to show up to help her with her chemo. You know what I mean? And he overcomes that. And it was just perfect, because that's what happens, man. When somebody lays on some heavy news on you like that, you're in shock and you're not really sure what's going to happen. But he ends up showing up. Really cool. Symbiote Spider-Man #1, Peter David and Greg Land. Good, not great. Just your average Spider story from back in the day. But nothing really special. It was cool. Mysterio There were a lot of cool movie references that Mysterio was spitting out, which I don't know if anybody else picked on, but I don't know. I love Peter David. I'm not big on Greg Land, but I wanted this to be better, and it wasn't. But anyway, lastly, Batman number 68, Nightmares Part 6, Tom King, Amanda Connor, Dan Panasian, John Timms, Michael Jane, and this was just weird and just not anything. Lois and Selena are just like kicking it at the Fortress of Solitude while Bruce and Clark hang out at Wayne Manor like playing chess together. I guess it's supposed to be like the night before the wedding sort of bachelor party thing. But it was, I don't know. I mean, it was well done. It was sort of entertaining. But in the context of like this whole arc, this Nightmares arc, everything that came before it was better. That Flash crossover, it was okay, but it just slowed it down. And with Detective just being so good, this arc has just been terrible, man. I don't know what is going on.
Wasn't this the book with the cover that everybody was talking about?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like.
Was it the girls with the strip club?
Well, that's what this cover was.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
It looked like something Marvel would do. The cover looked like Marvel, not Batman.
I don't know what is going on. Maybe it's going to come back where these nightmares are going to be meaningful. They're going to mean something. They're going to be important for the story that's coming next. But Bane City or whatever the heck is coming up next with Bane finally taking over from the events of the wedding, the last page of the freaking wedding issue that got me so hyped for everything that's going to come before or after it. And then this is just a huge letdown.
No, Batman, I'm the mayor now.
That's it. Yeah. So this kind of sucks, but I don't know. It may pay off later, but I doubt it.
Adam, you said you don't have anything, right?
It's kind of a light week.
No, I don't.
We got guests.
Didn't read anything
on a talk show.
Gotta have some material, kids.
God help us all.
Talk show.
Can we get into the Outright Geekery book of the week now?
Do it.
OutrightGeekery.com, your one-stop shop for news, reviews, previews, podcast, everything geek at your fingertips. If I was Gaumer, I would wear an Outright Geekery t-shirt every single week, but he doesn't. But you can check them out, OutrightGeekery.com.
I feel shameless.
Outright Geekery book of the week.
Adam, what's on your shirt?
It's the
Mr. Robot.
F Society from Mr. Robot.
Nice.
Detective Comics.
I got Flynn Lives from Tron.
Oh, we all going to show off our shirts now?
Everybody was. I didn't want to be left out.
Sasquatch doesn't wear a shirt.
Villain Club.
I have Republic Cities by
no one cares. We can't see it on the video.
Yeah, we don't care. Bigfoot. Freaking ape.
What if it turns out David really was Bigfoot with the podcast thing set up?
That's an actual picture of him.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird. Okay.
Out in the woods of Portland, Oregon.
He does live in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. The Pacific Northwest is a big haunting ground or hunting ground or whatever for Bigfoot.
Yes, it is.
Detective Comics 1001.
1001, written by Peter J. Tomasi. Art by Brad Walker, Andrew Hennessy, and Nathan Fairbairn. Letters by Rob Lee.
Thank you. We couldn't read this book without you.
Yes. So the book opens up on the Arkham Knight doing his inspirational speech to his Knights of the Sun. Then we cut to Gordon and Batman communicating about all of these dead bats all over the place, all over Gotham, including the Batcave. Just dead all over the place. Batman's that and I'm wondering if Alfred has to clean it all up in the Batcave. Poor Alfred.
Who else?
He did.
Oh my gosh.
Did you not? He did. He even makes a reference to that in the book.
Did you not?
Oh, I didn't. I just remember the Batcave picture with all the dead bats still laying on the ground.
That's good eating, man.
Yeah, later on when they
Bat is the chicken in the cave.
Later on, they talk about it.
I must have missed that. I apologize,
dude.
Bat
have I ever
is the
told the
chicken of
story?
the cave, man.
Have I ever told the story of when I came home one afternoon and there was a bat hanging from my ceiling?
Dude, you're Batman. No, you didn't, Boogie. I've never heard that.
I really don't want to tell it because Adam seemed so disappointed that I was going to tell this story. What would you do if you come in and there's a bat hanging from your living room ceiling? What do you do?
I'd put a piece of fruit down.
Fruit.
Like probably
I went with
a vampire bat.
It's probably a fruit bat.
Clark Griswold approach. I'm going to grab it in the coat and smack it with a hammer. But really, I just grabbed it with a towel and threw it out the window. But I'm sorry. That's
a great story, Boog. Great story.
Well, I would love to see what you would do with a bat in your house. You freaking. I
would just leave it. Probably. I probably would just
go ahead, Adam.
They eat bugs. They eat bugs.
They're nasty, man.
That's another thing about the Gotham City now. If there's no bats to eat the bugs, is there going to be a bad?
Comics Misexplained says he would move out. The bat owns this house now. I'm pretty sure they're still in the attic, bro.
Make him pay rent.
Detective Comics.
Is it back on me again?
It's back.
Okay. Well, Batman goes to Francine Langston for help, but she's losing her mind because I guess she can hear all the dying bats and whatever, and so she injects herself with the Man Bat serum, transforming her into what I call the Woman Bat.
Witty.
Original.
Witty.
Good.
Yeah.
What about Wombat?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't you know?
Fresh.
So Batman grapples her with his grappling hook, and has a ride along, with them eventually crashing into the ground, and he injects her with the serum, turning her back into a whoa man. Batman then sees a light. He follows it and is immediately ambushed by the Knights of the Sun with their dumb-looking masks. And then Arkham Knight shows up, standing over Batman, who's got arrows all in him. Yay! Man, I almost wondered if if Tomasi played the Arkham game before writing this story.
I kind of think he didn't.
Well, I mean, because some of the beats in the story just felt like some of the beats that you experienced when playing the Arkham Knight game. So I don't know. I was like, this book made me care nothing for Arkham Knight, care where it's going. I actually had a little bit of hopes that it would be interesting since it's Arkham Knight, but no.
Why was it not interesting? I didn't
play the game. He's comparing it to the game. He's already got some, backstory continuity about the character of Arkham Knight. I just don't have that.
Well, even with that, and I don't know that the game continuity, I don't think that's even at play here.
No, this Arkham Knight is completely unrelated.
Yeah, it's different, and that's the way I took it. Even though I know about the game, I took it as its own story.
Okay.
And even then, you had a bunch of dead bats, and he shows up, and of course she's going to transform herself into the Woman Bat. Of course that's going to happen.
Well,
and all of that, and then he just blindly grapples to this light to investigate, and he gets Batman is easily ambushed. Easily.
It was lighting up the entire sky. What do you mean he just randomly stumbled upon it? If you walk outside and see this giant light.
No, he goes to investigate the light. I didn't say.
I don't think he went to investigate the light. I think they kind of found him.
No, he was going to it, and he was ambushed. Easily.
Well, they said it was a tiny sun lighting up the entire
all right, whatever. I didn't like the book. Moving, what do y'all think?
I love it. I can't validate myself. Just move on.
Jeez.
This was serviceable for me. It's a brand new arc. I don't know this character. How do you get over on Batman? You just get over on Batman. That's how it
The
shows
Batman
that
Who
you're
Laughed
good.
was doing is quite well.
Exactly. How do you make your character look cool? You just have him get over on the already established cool guy. And I'm okay with that. That's a trope that they can use and they have used, and I guess they're going to continue to use. But I'm anxious to see more. Tomasi's been great on Detective, and I thought this read okay. Again, I don't know these characters. I don't know if I needed to know anything about the characters, but it worked for me. I was okay with it.
I really like this. I liked it. We saw Arkham Knight in Detective Comics 1000. We knew that's where this was going. It says right on the freaking cover, the Arkham Knight rises. You knew where they were going. The splash page at the end was ruined. Everything's out there, but I feel like Tomasi still told a story that was interesting and intriguing that I want to read. And it really has nothing to do with the Arkham Knight, which I don't know that character. I thought the Knights of the Sun looked cool, and maybe they're just foot soldiers, but I thought they looked cool. So not a whole lot going on, but I think they set up the story arc well here. I liked it.
It was serviceable.
What do you mean they look cool? I don't understand.
Okay, bro. I really liked their yellow eyes. They didn't have yellow eyes.
What you mean?
Forget it.
You mean they were the?
Why are you coming at me? David's the one that called you out, bro.
You mean the Knights of the Sun are clones of Scut Farkas?
I swear he had yellow eyes.
They're all dark side force users.
Everybody makes fun of Adam, and he always comes back at me every time.
Okay.
I'll make fun of everybody. I don't.
All right. It's okay.
I don't discriminate.
I'll mute you, bro.
But Boogie, you make a good point. What you said about the Arkham Knight, it's not really about the Arkham Knight. What if there isn't really an Arkham Knight? What if it's a different person?
It's time to call Scooby-Doo.
That it's just whoever can put on the Arkham Knight suit, but it doesn't necessarily need to be one person. It's just the Arkham Knight is a symbol of the Knights of the Sun. So that's an interesting thought. That would be kind of an interesting twist to the story if it turned out that way. That it's not one person.
I don't know anything about the Arkham Knight, so that for me it wouldn't work, because it would be like a mystery wrestler coming out and ripping his mask off, and you have no idea who it is. It's like, okay, cool, now it's just a regular person. So that wouldn't work for me.
And I think that's part of it. I don't think that could be the hook for this. Who is the Arkham Knight? I don't think that can be the hook. I don't think that should matter.
I kind of feel that the Arkham Knight is probably like Azrael.
That was my first guess.
That's my first guess too.
But his sword don't glow bright enough.
Dude, how great that Azrael art looking Batman White Knight.
Yeah,
that looked nice.
Oh, man.
That's gonna be rad.
Yeah, it's gonna be rad. The new one, right? The Curse or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. What else?
David, you got any comments on this?
Yeah.
I like this story. Obviously, this is a different Arkham Knight than what we've been exposed to in the games. I think that the interaction with Francine Langstrom was leading more to what was causing the bats to die, because if you looked at the artwork very closely, her ears are bleeding.
Yeah, I think that was too. She was like going to the source.
Going to the source to have
Batman into the trap, maybe.
Well, so it was a Sonic. Sonic that was
some kind of Sonic generator that hidden in the Gotham Zoo, and then you have the bright light going off like the mini sun. But when Alfred tells them like there's no explosions, no nothing, it's just something that appeared, and as Batman is trying to call in paramedics for Francine, he's on his way. And somebody cuts the cord on his bat grappling hook.
Which should be impossible.
It was the Knights of the Sun.
Should be impossible. And then it's like their arrows are piercing me, but my tools are not piercing them. And it was very interesting to like Gaumer said earlier, for somebody to out Batman. And
Tomasi, so I'm not counting on any of that being something that's going to.
It's just I don't think it's people out Batmaning Batman. I think it's just a well prepared group of individuals, mercenaries and whatnot, that have just prepared for Batman's eventual, these contingency plans for Batman.
So who are they? Are they are they
they're Court of
previous goons of the Court of Owls, previous goons of Ra's al Ghul?
I hope they don't do that.
That was like my first thought, but I think it's like a hodgepodge of different groups working together.
How many bands of mysterious assassin well-trained groups is out there for Batman? It's
lots.
Let's add another one.
Universe everywhere.
Yeah. So Batman, it's all these low-level thugs that have just gotten together and said, "Hey, let's take out Batman."
Well, they're obviously trained, though.
They're well equipped.
Adam's kind of right. Is this another mega assassin group that's better than Batman coming finally to take revenge on Batman for some reason?
But he's right. But that's every comic book. That's every comic book. Why we even read comic books if that's the problem?
You're right. I'm out of here.
Why even?
Yeah, Come back, lady.
What's the point of this? Let's talk about movies where everything's realistic.
Yeah. Look at this cover.
Look at
this.
I love it.
Look at this cover.
That is rad.
And then in this book, it means nothing.
What are you gonna do? Rip it up? You're gonna stab it with a knife?
Yeah, burn it. Burn it.
Now this is what I'll do right here. Check this out. I got it, and I don't even need to destroy it.
Watch this. Oh, I was gonna mute you, but I'll let you do it. All right, let's rate this thing. This is gonna be fun.
I'll give it $3.99.
Dude, I almost gave in to peer pressure because I thought you guys were gonna rip it. I'm giving it $3.99. It's serviceable as a first issue of a brand new arc. It introduced the characters. It took Batman on a little thing. It's okay. Well, I don't know what people were expecting. I expected it to be great, like it was $3.99. Bam! There you go. I wish they would make a TV show. It would have been Arkham Knight, the TV series on DC Universe.
My name's Boogie. How can you have that opinion on this book that I want to give it $3.99? I wasn't mad at your opinion. I was mad at your lack of paying attention to the story. I read Adam Wade Adams doesn't pay attention. It was so weird, dude. Superman walked out his front door and saw the sun. How would you see the sun from your front porch? That makes no sense. It's in the sky. It'd be weird if this mysterious light was in the sky too that Batman found. That'd be weird. It'd be weird. What do you rate it, Adam? I'll give it $2.99. That was great, wasn't it? That's good. No, that's your opinion. David, you rank it? Yeah, I said $3.99. Oh, good. It's unanimous. Comic book day. It's not unanimous, Gomer. What are you Majority. Oh, those of us that matter. Oh my God, man! Oh man! Adam's leaving for real. New comic book day, April 17th, 2019. Guys, let's do this. Let's do this civilly. Good. Civilly. Meaning a couple books. You don't have to read the entire preview page to me. I don't need everything. Gomer, what are you excited about? What are you picking up this week? I got a couple of things, both from IDW. Transformers #3, of course. It comes out this week. I missed the Transformers Click this week. I missed that. There was no book. What can we do? Next week, there'll be one Transformers #3. Excited about that. And Star Trek The Q Conflict #3. That is every Star Trek crew ever, except for Enterprise. They do not count. Hanging out, doing their thing. It's been wonderful. Yeah, those are my two. I'll leave it at a dose. David, a deuce. I'll drop a deuce. All right, I'm going to drop a deuce. Assassination #2. I want more of that that sweet kill 'em all everybody story. And if I can get my hands on one, I might actually pick up this Mary Shelley Monster Hunter #1. Oh, I thought you were gonna say Humper. Monster Humper. I was like, oh my gosh. There's a comic for you. Like Faithless. I'd read that. Mary Shelley's Monster Humper. I'd read that. Sounds way better. All right. So those are two that I'm looking forward to that are not my book of the week. Nice. Man, I'm excited about two of the best books at Marvel. Anybody out there that says Marvel doesn't put out good books, come at me, bro. Daredevil #4 and Guardians of the Galaxy #4. Guardians of the Galaxy, man. Donny Cates has been so freaking good.
Also, we
Gamora
got
is awesome in that preview, dude. I cannot wait to read Guardians next week.
We got the second issue of War of the Realms also.
Can't all be great.
Adam. We can see your arm, so quit putting on a show. Anything you're excited about this week?
No.
Let's talk about the outright geekery book of the week for next week. Gomer, what's going on the poll?
It's a light week. So I'm picking.
It's not a light week.
It's light for me for the poll anyway.
It's light in the regards of how we pick book of the week.
Yeah,
That's
usually
accurate.
we pick like a new book,
That's
a debut. This is like in the middle of the run, but a brand new arc is starting. Gideon Falls number 12. Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino, new story arc. Stations of the Cross, part 1. The hottest series of 2018 returns. Can't wait.
David, what do you got?
Brian Michael Bendis said about this book, this will go down as one of the greatest comic teams of all time. And finally, Brian Michael Bendis writes something that I love to read. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. I'm going to go with the Ghostbusters 35th anniversary one shot with the Enter the Call Ghostbusters. Do demons get visitation rights? That's the question facing a harrowed young mother as she tries to accommodate a stream of otherworldly visitors intent on paying their respects to her half-demon toddler. So, this thing, Rosemary Baby-ish, kind of.
Guys, please don't vote for that.
Yeah, it's the Answer the Call team. Come on. No disrespect to any gender thing or something like that. I just didn't like that movie. I've read this book, this team in the comics. I just don't like it. I just don't like them.
Adam, what do you got on the poll this week?
What do I got on the poll this week? Well, I'll tell you.
Her name is Alexis.
War of the Realms, Punisher #1 by Jerry Duggan, Marcelo Ferreira.
God, dude, I figured out his name in Deadpool 2, and now I can't remember it because of this podcast.
The War of the Realms has brought monsters to the streets of New York, but New York has a monster all its own, Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, and he'll be damned.
Oh wow,
to hell if he's going to let a bunch of 10 realms, 10 pot tyrants terrorize his town. Rated T for teen.
T for teen. I'm just gonna send you my solicit so you can read them all.
Yeah, you want to read mine?
I don't have it, but if you want to send it to me, I will.
Well, I was going to. Star Wars TIE Fighter #1.
Okay.
Enter Shadow Wing, the Empire's salvation, the Rebellion's doom. As the war against the Rebellion stretches on, it is the innocent people of the Galactic Empire who are most at risk. An elite squadron of TIE Fighter pilots is assembled to help protect Imperial interest and hammer the Emperor's fury down upon the treasonous and violent Rebel alliance. But how far is the untested team willing to go to preserve law and order? Wow, this really reads like the Empire of the baby faces. And are the pilots of Shadow Wing as loyal to the Empire as they seem? This April, Jody Hauser and Rogue Antonio's TIE Fighter Tale chronicles the struggles and triumphs of the heroes of the Empire in the last days of the Civil War.
Nice.
But what about those heroes of the Rebellion? Dude, I'm stoked for this, man. Jody Hauser just gets it when it comes to Star Wars. Really does. I'm stoked. Yeah. Vote for Star Wars TIE Fighter #1 of 5.
I'm actually voting for that one too.
At ComicCastPod on Twitter. The poll is up now. So go vote.
And vote often.
What is that?
Check it.
Thanks, David.
Check it.
Vote early, vote often.
Remember, troopers, check your TIE Fighter and check it often.
Cheat to win.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's right, bro.
Quote Darth Vader.
And I quote. I guess that's going to wrap it up, unless you guys got some.
Stoked for that Star Wars book, man.
I don't know that as much as I don't read Star Wars and I don't know a whole lot about Star Wars except just the general knowledge, the IG-88 bounty hunter has always piqued my interest. It's just interesting that a droid is a bounty hunter like that.
Is that the Star Wars Age of Rebellion one shot?
That is. It's $6, I think, $5 or $6.
We'll talk about it, Adam, since you're so excited. Adam. We'll add it. Me and Gaumer are reading it.
What?
Did you know that IG-88 has a 57 Chevy?
No, I did not.
Dude, we got a lot of stuff to talk about next week.
That's bullcrap.
We'll talk about one or both of the Star Wars books. We got to talk about, at least me and Gaumer got to talk about War of the Realms #2. We're not going to make you guys buy it if you don't want to.
David's reading it. He said he was on board.
I was gonna fall on the sword for that.
Cool. We'll talk about it.
Transformers. We'll have that.
Transformers 3.
Got to get better sooner or later.
Or not.
Man, it's got to, man.
Did you see the artwork for this new character?
Yes, it looks good.
Is this the Theramax or whatever they're calling it?
Termagax, and I don't think so. I'm not sure yet.
Because I think like Megatron referred to a Termagax as a female. Didn't?
Yes, it's a girl.
It's a girl. So
yeah, as much as Cybertronians can.
Of course, a Termagax is a girl.
Right.
I mean,
of course, it's a girl's name. Termagax. Come on.
Termagax. Come on.
Cybertronian.
You telling me you never went to school with someone named Termagax?
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Adam cleaning up his mess in the chat.
What mess?
Thank you all. Sorry, I got confused on the Leia price.
Yeah. I don't understand. I didn't understand. Mine says $3.99. I didn't understand if there was like a sealed, bagged copy that had a higher price point.
I know shops like will add $1 or $2 to some of the variants. Like I had to pay $6 or $7 for my War of the Realms #1 because it was a variant.
So what they add an additional 30 cents?
Just $1. Yeah, right. Just $1.
Adam, would you like to take this time to apologize to me about Detective Comics?
Yeah,
absolutely not.
I'd like to see you guys squash that beef.
I'll squash the beef. I mean,
in the squared circle.
I accept your apology, Boogie.
Gomer's gonna go read Faithless and squash.
I'm gonna go read Faithless again.
He's gonna squash his beef.
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. But that's going to wrap it up for ComicCast issue number 139. Thanks to all you guys that joined us in the live chat. Do us a favor, jump over, hit that like button, leave us a comment, and subscribe. And if you're in the Tri-Cities area, be sure to hit up Dwayne's World Comics and Games. I can't say it when my face is on screen. Pick up some comic books. See you guys next week.
Get your comic book on.